So we kind of brisk past this on one of the last videos where I was saying like he's a skeptic, like, and I won't even say skeptic, but he's on his own journey.
Right.
So his opinions are like not skewed, but just very different from mine as far as all of this. So he was just like, "Well, why are you fasting?" And I told him like, everything like we had the video, and then Nemo did hers, and I was like, "I'm doing mine." He was like, "But so what are you like? What are you getting out of it?" Same kind of thing. Like, so we're talking through everything, and he was like, "Did that come from you, or are you just trying to like just do it because Nemo is doing it?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of that." I had to like really like sit with it for a second. Like, let me process that. Like, let me see. So I'm naturally not the person that's gonna like deny myself of something. Like, I don't like if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and every time you be like, I'm not smoking, like before, like years ago, she's like, I'm not smoking right now, or I'm not doing this right now, or even Taylor, she's like, I'm not doing this. I'm like, why? You gonna do it again?
I know, you like, always say that.
Like, why are you doing this? I don't
why?
Because
next week you're just gonna be doing it again.
Right. And I never understood it. Well, not understood it, but I just have never done it.
You haven't experienced it.
Exactly. And so this was like kind of like one of the first times that I'm like, outside of dieting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's different.
You know what I'm saying? I'll restrict myself when it's a carnal purpose.
Physical.
Like physical, and I know an end result is coming. This was different because that wasn't my intention going in.
Right. It was more spiritual.
Even though I'm keeping
mental.
up with like the food part of it, the spiritual part was like, you're doing it for this reason. You're giving it up for, I guess, clarity and understanding or whatever. And
right.
That was it for me. But coupled with that, my realization was like, I don't know. So it was like not even a realization. The question I posed within myself was, if we are gods and if we have made all of these things for us to enjoy, why can I not enjoy it?
Right.
If I made it for myself to enjoy. Does that make sense?
It does.
But also coupled with that is like, well, this is really not good for you. You're supposed to be like get into the whole alkaline in your body and cleaning your body and keeping it clean and all of that. I don't know. I had like dual feelings about it. And I just let it sit. So then we went into like, man, it was beautiful because we had one of our first spiritual conversations about spirituality in like a long time. And not just as it relates to me, but actually his perception of it.
Okay.
I remember when we first got together, we were talking, and because I grew up like Christian, like you go to church on Sunday, you do Bible study, you praise dance, you go to Sunday school. every day of the week, you at church, basically. And that's my basis of growing up is Christianity. When I got pregnant with Paris, it's kind of like when I stopped going to church because I had received a lot of like criticism, judgment. I was a teen mom. So, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, you going to hell, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? You going to hell.
That's not funny.
Your life ain't about to be shit.
That's so dramatic.
But, I stopped, pulled back, I stopped going. Still kept the belief, but church wasn't it.
Yeah.
And so that's where like I broke off from going to church. I kind of tried to go back again, like when me and him like were not first together, but when we got like started getting our first house. Or first,
we were going to Destiny.
Yeah, we were going to Destiny, remember? And then we stopped doing that. And because it just felt like so many contradictions. So, okay, forget my story because I want to make it quick because we were talking with him. He's like, so Kendall grew up, of course, his mother's side is like Christian. His father was Muslim for a time.
Yeah.
So he didn't have such a strong root in Christianity. So when we first talked about spirituality, he always was like, well, I don't believe in all of that other stuff, meaning like Jesus, religions, all of this.
Yeah.
Because he said it was too many contradictions and it's too many like different stories behind it. Like no one had a clear. He didn't settle well with him that like Christians believe that if everybody don't believe in Jesus, that everybody else is going to hell.
Yeah.
Or whatever his Muslim, whatever his belief it is that. Like it was like so many things like he found contradictory
yeah.
in. He said, I do believe in God, but all the other stuff I feel like is rules and regulations. So that was the other thing. Coupled with the fast is like
it's rules.
It's rules.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, is this real? And then this was just okay. Oh my God, I told you this is a lot.
So
I know it's like word vomit.
No.
So remember when we were I think it was Friday we talked and I was in the bath and I was like, I'm looking at this Daniel fast and this looked like bullshit. Because I pulled up the Daniel fast online and it was like quick and easy recipes to do on Daniel fast. I don't want nothing to be quick and easy about this fast. I want to be in pain. I want to be at home. I want it to be hard. But why though? Like why do we equate getting to God or getting through spirituality or your journey to have to be hard? Like, is that a subconscious thing of like feeling like we have to punish ourselves?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is why we have to deny ourselves. Is that where that's rooted in? Or is it the right way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. So all of that was coming up. Basically, what out of our conversation, what I got out of it was like, and I don't know, it was so unsettling that I'm just like, I'm still trying to process it.
Right.
That, I don't know, because we talked, it kind of goes with my thought of like, when saying, is God a he or a she? I always respond back and tell you, like, I don't think we even have an understanding of what God is, a thumbnail of an understanding of what God is. I feel like God is multiple things. I feel like God is a feeling, it's an emotion, it can show up in different ways, it can speak through different people. It's so many things that we can't even quantify it.
Right.
With that being said, how can we say which way is right to get to God when there are so many different ways and so many different things that show us that one, God is real, but that there is no limitations or rules or box or anything or house or this or that can be the only way to get to God.
Absolutely.
I think that and Kendall explained this perfectly. He was like, I think that it depends on the person. Yes. I feel like God makes it so that however that person's personality is set up, whatever their experience is, or however, they live their life, God will show up in that way for them. And it may be in religion, it may be in spirituality, it may be through whatever, but it's going to show up. But it's going to be different for different people.
Absolutely. I agree.
Kind of like when you tell a story, her version is going to be different from my version, and then my version is going to be different from y'all version, and you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean they're wrong. But it doesn't mean they're right either. So it's just like,
it's individual.
It's a question mark. It's just like, well, it's just kind of up to you.
It is. It's absolutely up to you. It's so individualistic. Like, all these different journeys is for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. In my opinion, when it comes to the fasting, for me, the reason that I wanted to fast this time around, I always do it, like you said.
Oh, and let me say this. Thank you for supporting me, because I know I will call her and just be like, this ain't it. But I needed the support.
And it was your first time doing it. Like, years. I don't remember since we've been friends you ever fasting. Unless you just didn't tell me what you ain't got to. But the reason that I encouraged you to do it, I definitely didn't just want you to do it because I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Right. Sure. But the reason I want to tell you the reason why, because you have questions. The reason why I wanted you to do a fast is because a lot of transformation is happening between the two of us.
Facts.
And I was so gung-ho about it because Wednesday was my day that my fast was over. And I told you that day I just woke up, and you probably could feel it off of me. Like, I was just different that day. Like, I had so much clarity. I felt so good. And I'm just that type of person. Like, I'm like, if I feel like that, and I know you going through a similar thing, and I just know the conversations we've been having and the questions that's been coming up. And obviously, at the end of a fast, you don't get all your answers. Like,
of course.
But any sense of clarity you can get, and that's the thing with restricting. It's not restricting just to be restrictive. Like, I just need to get disciplined. For me, the restriction comes in, it allows me to get clear. Mm-hmm. Because as I was telling you, when we're filling our bodies up with all this bullshit, it makes it kind of hard to hear your higher self. So for me, just in the past, when I have fasted from different things or done like juice cleanses and things like that and limit what I intake, I can hear clearer.
Yeah.
So that is what I wanted for you, and that's why I suggested it, because I know you had not done it before, and I'm like, just try it.
Yeah.
Because if you do have a question, I think you'll be able to hear the answer a little clearer.
Yeah.
But it's definitely preference. It's definitely a singular experience. Fast don't work that way for everyone. I was not brought up with fasting. I wasn't brought up religious.
Yeah.
I didn't go to church growing up. Every now and then my dad would take me, or, for a special occasion or something like that. But my journey is my own. It was not put onto me. You know what I mean? So I'm learning that as time progresses and as I become more aligned, I feel like needing to fast or restrict myself will come fewer. Yeah. Few and far in between, because I'm practicing on a daily basis. I think sometimes for me, I just need that time just to get completely clear.
Yeah.
And then like how now we are implementing new routines, and now you don't eat as much meat because you've restricted yourself and you realize I really don't need that. I feel better.
Exactly.
So now I can, move accordingly. But I know for me, anytime I get off of my journey, and that's just getting caught up in the day-to-day life, I need certain things to reset me. And that's just completely, individual to the person. But I think that you will see if you ever do it again, that over time, the more that you do it, you'll find what works for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not meat. Maybe it's sodas, or you know what I mean? Like whatever it is. But my whole goal is to see and hear clearly.
Yeah.
And whenever I feel like I'm just fogged out,
like this shot.
Just like this shot. Whenever I feel like that, it's just like I need a reset.
Yeah. So,
but I think that's dope. I think it's so dope that y'all had that conversation, because I just think it's important we're debaters anyway.
Yeah.
But I always like devil's advocate, like, because I hate to use devil's advocate as a word, but I just think it's so good to have different perspectives. And that's a reason why I don't subscribe to any religion, because everybody can be right. I don't need to argue you down and then tell you, no, because ultimately religion is faith. I'm going to have faith in something that may be different than I'm going to tell you, you can't believe what you believe. Mm-hmm. Like, so yeah. What were you about to say?
So I felt like I may have tainted the fast when I was doing my research, because remember I said I Googled the Daniel fast, right? Right. Google.
Stop Googling. You're supposed to go within. What you need with Google? No, I'm just playing.
And then be the questions for me. How do I find my purpose? Like you, right?
Inner.
But anyway, so told you I Googled the Daniel fast, and then I saw the quick and easy Daniel fast recipes that I like turn me off, and then you go and watch videos where it's like super sanctified people in there explaining how to do. I'm like, okay, no. Swipe out of those. And then I came across an article where this man or woman, I don't know who person, it's an article, so I don't know who wrote it. But they were saying that Daniel fast is not a biblical fast. It's different from a biblical fast. A biblical fast is literally like you did on your first time, water only, or maybe not even water.
Dry fast. Dry fast is nothing.
Basically.
Yeah, you just survive on breath.
The thought behind it is that...
Sorry, guys. Come on in, babe.
Hey.
I knew this was going to happen.
The thought behind it is that you are dependent on God to give you your next breath. If you going to eat, God said it's because you going to eat. If you going to drink, it's because God provided rain, and that's how you ate. Like, literally dependent on God for your next breath.
Yeah.
And I resonated with that, because I was just like, this is cheating. This is like BS. This is not... and not calling the fast BS, but just how I was doing it, you playing, basically.
See, and that's individual to you. So it's like the next go around, if you do decide to do it, it's like
I can't do nothing. Just lay there.
See, but that's what some people need. Because you felt like I'm not getting out of it what I need to get out of it. Or did you?
No, I don't even feel like I didn't get out of it what I was supposed to. Because I definitely felt more, and especially when you were saying that it's individualistic, that it's funny how even though I felt like the answer wasn't, like, it wasn't like me, the answer was like, Erica,
yeah,
you
this.
need to do this.
Yeah,
and this is
which
how
is
you're
what
going
we
to
want.
do this.
Yeah,
and exactly, I want bullet points. show me the way. I felt after the fast, I felt so intention driven. Like, okay, I gotta go do this. I gotta do this. I felt very like action oriented. Mm-hmm. So even though I didn't get a direct answer, the feeling I got out of it was like, all right, let's get it. Like, it's time to go get it. You know, the feeling was, I don't know, like.
The fog is lifted.
Yeah, so, but I still don't have an answer. So that don't settle well with me.
But
it was like, okay, we gotta go shoot for the store. We gotta go do this. We gotta go, you know what I'm saying? Let's hit her room up. We gotta organize, my editing and stuff like that. Like, edited the video, like, you know what I'm saying? The action came down, but not an answer. So it was like, that's why I keep saying it's like still, and my candle went out, the Burberry candle. The last day of the fast, it finally went out.
Are you serious?
Literally.
I think sometimes that's how it works. Like, it doesn't come in clear in that way, but maybe through the action, you'll find the answer easier. Like, because now you feel like you want to do instead of just know. Like, you kind of just sometimes we sit around and just be like, I'm waiting on the inspiration, or I'm waiting on the answer. Right. And a lot of times the answer is just keep doing. And you can make better guided decisions when you're free of the distractions and all of that.
Yeah.
Because I feel less distracted.
Yeah.
I know that when I was fasting, I would read. That was one of my things on my list. And I don't read. I'm not a reader. But I was bored, to your point, okay, I done did everything I can do. Let me sit my ass down and read something. And I was reading The Alchemist, which I've read before. But, of course, in different times in your life, it just has a whole different meaning. And I probably hadn't read that book in maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
Whenever we did
the book club. So what was that?
That was 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's the last time I read it too.
So it just has a whole different meaning as far as where I'm at on my journey because I'm definitely taking my own path more so than I was then. I was at work. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just staying, figuring out other productive ways to be distracted. This fast for me was just mostly supportive. I think I could have went into it with more. I didn't have as much preparation because previously I took a week. Okay, I know I'm gonna fast next week, so let me write out everything that I want to do. And I wish I would have kept my same, intention. I did do yoga. I did stay connected, and then the other thing, I don't know if I shared this in the last video, but I was telling Amber when I'm meditating, I see colors. So I did spend some time doing research on that. And to explain it for those of you who, like Amber, and I didn't even know exactly what it was until I started doing research. But when I'm meditating and my eyes are closed, I see kaleidoscopes of colors. And I just chalked it up to that's what happens during meditation. But then I thought about it and I'm like, is this something? Is this a thing? So I was talking to you about it, and then I sent you that article. I did some research, and this lady, her experience mirrored mine, and she said that she does Reiki, and I guess she experienced it for the first time when she was getting Reiki done on her. So Reiki is a form of healing using energy, which is very far out there, even for me. I have in my times of being in my sickness with my asthma, I did try Reiki. But I wouldn't say
that was the sound bowls.
That's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes literally you'll just meditate. Me and you are sitting here and you're this hurts me. Mm-hmm. If I'm a Reiki healer, we'll both go into a meditative state, and I'll just like send you healing energy.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. Which is far out there for me, even me. Like, I'm just like, how does that work? But as I'm doing this research, I find out the lady, she's like, basically, she's a Reiki healer with her seeing these colors. Like, you can harness energy. Mm-hmm. So, I ain't going to get into all that today because I really don't even know about all of that, and I need to dig deeper. But that is one of the things that, you know, I was doing some research on. And then in the conversation I was having with my husband, which I don't know if he wanted me to share his business, but I don't give a damn. As we were talking about it, because we were talking about the fast and everything like that, he sees colors too.
No, he don't.
Yes.
When?
He said he just sees colors. Like, I think he was saying when he closes his eyes. Yeah, because that's what I was telling him. Mm-hmm. I was like, I was telling Amber, like, I see colors. And she was like, you never told me that. And he was like, yeah, that happens to me too. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it kind of opened up this whole conversation between the two of us, and I'm just like, wow, like, what is that? So I need to uncover that. I don't know what any of that means, but I just think it's dope, like, when you are doing these different spiritual things, because my husband is very similar. I think he might be a little bit more on the spiritual side than Kendall. I think it's dope that as you're going through these spiritual things, it opens up conversations for you to have, like, with your partner, mm-hmm. even though I don't think, he may have done one fast since we've gotten together. He did it wasn't even a fast. It was like a vegan cleanse.
Yeah.
But, you know, it kind of opens up the conversations for this kind of stuff. I would say he's a little bit probably more on the spiritual side of, like, things that empathic and mm-hmm. indigo child. Like, mm-hmm. he's kind of into that stuff.
Yeah.
Less than me. But, you know, like, he knows how to tap into it.
Yeah.
But, it's just dope that fast bring those kind of conversations up, and I think it's healthy to have, because on a day-to-day basis, especially when you do business with your partner, it's very easy for things to just become business oriented.
Yeah.
And then you do have your intimate times, but for me, I'll speak for myself, we don't always have those opportunities to have like those spiritual conversations. And so if nothing else comes out of it, you know, just knowing
being
that
able to connect on that level.
You can connect on that level. And I would say my husband, he definitely, I think he kind of likes when I do things like that, because it's like out of the norm. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing this, and he'll just like smile and just be like, oh, okay, or he'll participate. Like mm-hmm. on Sunday, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, I hadn't been making meat. Like, you're good because you know feed your kids meat, because they ain't about to eat nothing else.
Right.
But in this household, I'm like, I'm not cooking. Like, I'll make sure that you have meals here.
Yeah.
But just the temptation of me cooking meat and stuff like that. So he participated. I made like a soup with all this, you know, cabbage and all kind of stuff in it. So I think it's good. Like, it's a way that you can connect, even if you are not the same, because obviously the spiritual journey is so individual.
Came in this bitch by yourself, you gonna die by yourself.
Right. And then, this kind of is a question that I have for you. What do you think about, this kind of piggybacks off the whole conversation we having a different, not spiritual journey, but looking at spirituality different than your partner?
I don't think it's as difficult as people make it seem. Now, granted, both of us aren't like super. I would say it will probably be more difficult if I was a Christian and he was Muslim, right? Or if I was, you know, Catholic and he was Buddhist. I don't know. I think that may be a little different in your practice. It's really, it shows up in your practice. If you're practicing every single day, then of course it probably would be a little bit, maybe a little more difficult.
Yeah.
But I think for me, you have to know yourself and you have to know your partner.
Yeah.
So Kendall has a very strong opinion about most things. And I think that for a long time, I allowed his opinion to be my opinion, right?
Really?
Yeah.
This is a shock to me.
On a lot of things. Now, certain things I don't feel like I'm this, no.
That's the way I feel like you are about everything, but that's... But I don't live with y'all, so I don't know.
Right, but his opinion will definitely sway my opinion. I will say that. It'll sway it, or it will, like,
make you think about
think twice about something. So I've had to, like, if I have a thought about something or idea about something, I have to let it sit and resonate with me first before I bring it up to him, because I know his opinion on things is so strong, or that I know I'll consider it so much. Maybe that is, and maybe it's not that it's so strong, but I'll consider it that I will change my view of it.
Okay.
Right? So sometimes that's a good thing, especially when it's things that can harm you or hurt you, or you way out there, girl, you need to come on back down. But other times it kind of like snuffs out any room for growth or room, because sometimes when an idea comes down in you, or, and this is kind of different than what you asked, but
no, get into it. Sometimes
when an idea comes down into you, you need to let it fertilize for a second before you share it with others, even your partner, because sometimes an idea isn't all the way thought out yet. It's just like the seed of it first. So before we share it with others or share with our partner, we gotta give it some room. Let it breathe for a second.
Yeah.
That's why I said you gotta know yourself, because you should be able to identify, okay, that was like, I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or we're not there yet, or maybe later, or whatever. And then once you feel like it is, then like, that's kind of why I didn't tell him about the fast, because I'm like, let me do this first. Let me let it resonate and do it first, and then let me bring it up to you for your opinion to come in. Because once I did, everything was like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once I invited him into conversation, it definitely shifted everything. So as it relates back to the question you just asked me, which I know that was a long way to go about answering that. It depends on your practice, and I think that because what we said, like, you have to respect people's journey. Like, even if y'all believe in the same thing, you still gotta respect where they are in the process. Just because if you're a Christian, you might be on a damn deacon board, and your wife is just, she still wanna go to bingo on Friday and smoke and drink. Like, it's gotta be a level of respect there for that she hasn't risen to that place. Same as way vice versa. Or if you are a devoted Christian and you ready to start doing missions, and your husband still gamble, or still, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's not outside the boundaries of your marriage, they just aren't there in their spiritual journey. You have to, like, just wait. Like, you have to have patience and allow that person to ascend in the time that God is ready for them to ascend.
This is why it's so important to know who you marrying and really just be prepared for marriage, because it's that constant thing of very rarely are you right here. Like, you're always teetering.
Yeah.
And you got to be okay with that, like you said. I think it's just so important. So, would you ever do it again?
Fast?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, like, I'm never gonna do anything, because you don't know what
that's
the fuck
true.
you're gonna do.
That's
like,
true.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know where you're gonna be. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
So for sure, I'm always open to doing it again. When that will be, it ain't gonna be next week.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm definitely open to it again, for sure.
Did you like the Daniel fast, or you think you would do a different type of fast?
I think this came up because, like I told you, I'm supposed to build a healthy relationship with food. So I was supposed to do this, and it wasn't just for the fast. It was so that I could regulate myself and get your shit together. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a real way.
So you think it was beneficial?
Yeah, for sure. But with what I know of the research I've done thus far on fast, I would probably do a dry fast the next time. It would not be I'll just cut this out, or, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, or a fast where it was like, it's like sun up to sundown, like, you know what I'm saying, type thing like that. Something where it was like, and again, I have limited research on it, you know what I'm saying, like, so I would want to learn more about it and do more in depth, because if I do it, I want to do it right, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to do it for comfort. I want to do it right. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll do a fast again. I think I want to do it seasonally. The next time, maybe we'll let y'all know, and if y'all want to join in on it, But I definitely would not do it next week. I am going to try to continue leaving the meat out more consistently and just feed myself with things that are alive and not dead.
Yeah.
But I am craving pizza, so I don't know. Tonight might be, I don't know. I was going through withdrawals.
Really?
Because I had that cheese that night you was over here too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I kind of wilded out. I didn't have the candy, and I still haven't had sweets. Mm-hmm. So I'm proud of myself because I'm a sweets person. But once my cycle come, I know what that's going to be.
Yeah, I'm on my cycle now. And coffee has come back. Like, I can't.
Oh, yeah, I got coffee too. And
I'm drinking coffee. Like
I haven't even been drinking coffee, but I had an urge. Maybe because Gerard asked me to buy him some coffee because he's like a stop at the store every morning for a coffee kind of person. And I'm like, that's expensive.
It is. So I've been, since the fast, since I started drinking coffee, I've been making my own coffee.
Yeah.
So I know it's not as much sugar as Dunkin'. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I also just realized it's just certain things that I'm okay with just doing. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the smoking, I'm okay with smoking. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna smoke and I'm gonna have my coffee. Yeah. And I feel like as long as it's not in excess.
Right.
But I guess that's relative as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It's whatever excess is to you. So please comment down below what you guys thought of this conversation. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.